What's good, YouTube? My name is Kenny J, back at it again with another insurance video, and this is KennyJTV. So as you can tell by the video, this is why I got into insurance. I've been getting this question a lot the past 2 weeks after I've announced on like social media, LinkedIn, all that good stuff that I was actually in insurance. And people keep saying, why? How did you get here? Who led you here? So if you rewind back to March, I actually dropped a video on YouTube about how I got laid off of work. And it's really crazy because in January, I know this is a lot of backtrack, but in January, I prayed to God and said, I don't want to be at my job no more. But I was very fearful on moving, moving companies. My biggest fear always was being laid off, being terminated, quitting, and not having a plan. So I never really took that leap of faith and left. So when COVID-19 happened, we had a chance to take a paid leave, so cool, you know I'm all about it. So then 2 weeks after that paid leave, they called me and say, hey Kendrick, we're gonna have to lay you off. We're not bouncing back as fast as we thought we were. And I can say in that moment, I've imagined that moment so many times in my life of me saying, what am I gonna do? Me stressing out, all of that. But I can tell you in that moment, I was so relieved, so at peace. When they told me that, it was literally like a weight was lifted off of me. Like crazy. And that goes to show you, like, if you really are not happy somewhere, you gotta leave. You gotta chase your dreams. You gotta do what you wanna do, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be living with regrets. For a month, I was sleeping a lot. I was catching up on TV shows. I was catching up with friends, cooking every day, eating. I was just doing the whole hoorah of me not having a job, because when you first leave a job, you're like, yes, you have that adrenaline pumping, you have that fire under you that you can do anything. So I was chilling, I was living my best life, and then about 2-3 weeks into it, I was like, all right, I had to sit myself down and say, this isn't gonna be forever. I need you to come back to reality, and what are you gonna do next? And I said, that's a good question, because I absolutely have no idea what's coming next. So I started doing my research on different industries, different fields. I talked to people. Thank God I have like friends that are in all different type of fields. So talking to them and just seeing their take on stuff and how their company was treating, them during the pandemic, that played a big part. As I was doing my research, I had two things that I wanted to, keep in mind. So one was I was really good in sales. My last job was a sales job, and I was ranked out of 100 people. I consistently placed top 10. Usually I was around 3 or 4, so I was balling. I was really up there getting this money. Like, I was really good at sales. I feel like if you know how to educate someone, you can sell. So I said I wanted to stay in sales, and my true passion is helping people. I love helping people. I love bettering people's lives in any way possible. So I took those into account, and then I started really doing my research. I kept doing my research, and the one thing that kept popping up was insurance. Insurance, insurance, insurance. I know a little bit about it. I have friends and family in insurance, so it was nothing that I didn't know anything about, but I didn't know how lucrative the field was. So I started doing my research on insurance, and I learned that insurance is a $7.05 trillion industry. So they're making a lot of money. And then on top of that, only 3% of that industry is African American. So that goes to show you that we, as a people that look like me, aren't really in that industry in the way that we should be. A lot of us have insurance, whether that's auto, home, life insurance, health insurance. We have insurance. But it's like, why are we not the ones providing the insurance or selling the insurance to the consumer? I was like, yeah, so we're not in insurance, it's not oversaturated. This is something that I can go and I can dominate. I always think, when I go into an industry, or I go into a field, a new job, how can I set myself apart? But honestly, I'm a minority already in the field, so that already sets me apart, and I could really capitalize on that, and I can take over. Another thing that I really loved about the industry was the hours of the agencies. I Googled a lot of agencies, the different hours of operations, and it was always Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Now at my other job, I had no work-life balance. So Monday I had to get there at 6:30 in the morning, then leave to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, it was usually 6:45 a.m., 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mind you, I had a 45-minute commute there and a 45-minute commute back. So I was literally leaving the house at the crack of dawn and getting home at dusk. Like, it was dark when I left and dark when I got back. It was like crazy. I had no work-life balance. I didn't know really what I like to do. When people used to ask me, what do you like to do? I didn't even know because I was always at work. So once I did my research and realized, hey, I want to go into insurance, I had to research more about what do you do to get into insurance. I know it was some type of test that you had to take, but I didn't really know what it was. So after doing my research, I realized that it's 4 different licensure tests you have to take. Well, 4 main ones, and they're property, casualty, life, and health. So I had to get those 4 licenses. They're not easy. The tests were not easy. It was a lot of material that I literally crammed in like a few weeks to try to learn to, get the information to pass the test. I will talk about in a later video tips on passing the state exam, because the percentage for passing is super low. I think it's like 30-40% pass the first time. So it's a really low percentage, but I see why after taking the test. And the last thing that really drew me into insurance is the demand. So when I even expressed interest that I wanted to go into insurance, I had people hitting my phone, I had emails, I had people literally sending me applications to fill out so I can be a producer for their company. Now, if you don't know, a producer is another name for an agent. But they were reaching out to me. I had Allstate reach out to me, Farm Bureau, all these companies reaching out to me, and I didn't even have a license. So I knew that once I got my license, I would be a very valuable person in this industry. So that is my story of what led me to insurance and how I got here. After talking to a lot of people that are in the industry, it's really interesting to see how they got here and what led them here. So if you are in insurance, comment below about how you got here. Would love to hear your story. I know one guy told me he literally could not get into college and now he's making 6 figures in insurance. Or another person was working at the same company I was working for, got laid off, and then came into insurance because of their strong sales backgrounds. Insurance is a very lucrative field, and I would say to anybody, if you want to go into any field, do your research, talk to people that are in the field that have been there many years that can really give you an honest opinion or honest feedback about how they have enjoyed the industry. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can get my latest notifications when I drop a new video every week. Again, thank you for tuning in. My name is Kenny J, the insurance guru, and this is KennyJTV.